All right, AMC crew and enthusiasts, there is a lot to run through in this update. The NSCC, which is the clearinghouse for many brokerages, including Robinhood, dropped some interesting rule proposals to the SEC. Institutional ownership of AMC hits a low, and we're about to get our first big blockbuster of this year. So let's see what all of this means. Let's get a little technical and let's get to it. What's up YouTube, James from Thursday Media here, and in this video we're looking at recent rule proposals made by the NSCC and other news headed AMC's way. The NSCC is the clearinghouse in charge of many retail brokerages including Robinhood, and was supposedly part of the catalyst that stopped retail trading of meme stocks back in January, when they demanded a larger than average deposit from small brokerages holding these high-risk stocks and options. This was Robinhood's main pivot point and justification for halting buying of select stocks. They couldn't pay their clearinghouse. Now it seems like the clearinghouse is making preparation for some bad times. You can find these proposals on the SEC's website, but the changes dropped on March 29th have some clauses that have sparked some interest among the online community. The first clause that pops up is on page 10 and mentions the new addition of Account Information Transmission, or AIT. The NSCC's goal is to enhance the AIT system to handle bulk transfers of accounts from distressed brokerages over to financially secure ones. The move comes during the time of meme stocks when zero commission brokers are being used to buy high-risk securities, and it puts these brokerages in a financial pickle. The rule implies that even if, let's say, Robinhood is put in a dire situation and is unable to meet its obligations, the NSCC's more financially stable members would take in bulk transfers of those accounts instead of them being liquidated. It, at least at face value, adds some security for investors to not lose their investments if a brokerage can't maintain financial stability. Page 23 mentions some language changes, but notes specifically changing closeout to liquidation, indicating that we can probably expect some more large-scale liquidation events like with Viacom, CBS, and Discovery. Remember that clearinghouses get to see all of the data and are probably aware that there are several firms highly over-leveraged and margin calls are coming due. This would cause negative price action on many stocks, as lending firms would try to protect themselves by force liquidating blocks of securities. This will probably create some dip buying opportunities in many popular but slightly overvalued stocks, but is not likely to affect AMC. And here's why. No matter where I check, most sources all imply that institutional ownership and mutual fund ownership of AMC is at 15% or less. This means the vast majority of shares are held by others, likely retail investors, and institutional interest in AMC is probably mostly short positions. Hedge funds can use leverage to take massive short positions, so it isn't beyond the imagination to believe that the NSCC is preparing for the possible liquidation of institutional assets in order to cover what hedge funds have borrowed. And with specific sectors of the market running on sentiment instead of technicals, this makes this scenario a real possibility. Finally, on page 25 and 26, the clause mentions changes to the loss allocation procedures. To summarize, it appears as though the NSCC is saying that all members will become jointly responsible if a member broker is forced to liquidate and still can't meet its financial demands. If this rule really puts every member firm on the hook for the decisions of others, it may create a new trading environment in the short term where they encourage each other to reduce risk or band together to manipulate the meme stocks. And I'm sure this is in no small part due to the meme stocks like GameStop and AMC, whose stock prices keep exceeding expectations. Again, clearinghouses see all of the data, and any changes that are made to the rules are made to ensure the continued smooth transition of assets and to protect the system. Finally, on a lighter note, AMC might get a small boost this weekend as Godzilla vs. Kong puts two titans of destruction on the big screen in theaters, and hopefully this begins drawing people back to the movies. It's still early in the blockbuster movie season, but Godzilla vs. Kong may be a small preview at how much demand there is for getting out to theaters. Granted, I'm sure that many of these theaters are working with limited capacity, but if that capacity sells out, then we can expect that there is pent-up demand for this type of entertainment. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows this week, as some insiders did sell several shares that they had been holding on to. Investors usually get shaken by this kind of insider selling, but even though there's been downward pressure all week, AMC has actually held pretty steady as the market wraps up a correction. But as always, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular guy with a regular job, just trying to keep up with the news of AMC. So don't take this as investment advice, and make sure that you do your own research before you make any financial decision. If you're interested in getting involved in stocks and active investing, I'll leave some links down in the description below that'll help get you started. Some of these are even offering free stocks when you sign up and make your first deposit. If you found this video helpful and you want more like it, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I post every Thursday and Sunday unless I throw in a bonus. Keep hodling, maybe catch a movie this weekend, and as always, thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.